Hi guys, in today's video we'll be taking a look at radio buttons. Radio buttons are essentially a visual representation of a set of boolean values that are mutually exclusive. So let's jump into Visual Studio and take a look. So the first thing we want to do is create a new project. It will be a Windows Forms app, .NET Framework, C#. We'll click Next. And we will call this one the radio button. Radio button. We'll click Create. And so we'll start by going into our common Windows controls and we will find the radio button. You see here? So radio buttons are very similar to checkboxes. The only difference is they're essentially a sort of mutually exclusive group. So we could drag out 3 radio buttons. And if we don't do anything else and we just run the app, you'll see that this one has started checked. And if we check any of the other ones, it unchecks the one that was previously checked because they are mutually exclusive. There can only be one enabled state in our group of radio buttons. So let's have a look at some of the other things we can do. So like with checkboxes, they have a value called checked, and that is a boolean value. The only difference with the radio button is that if one of the other ones is checked, then this one would be set to false, and vice versa. They do allow for handlers as well. So if we double click on one of them, you can see here it will create the check changed handler. So just like we looked at before with the checkbox, we're able to do sort of binding based on triggers caused by the user. If we go back to our designer and we look at our form 1 load, let's just look at our radio button. So we can say radio button 1.checked. You can see here that this is a boolean, and we might let's add a button actually. So let's go back into our form. Let's add a button. And let's double click on that to get a click handler. And we'll do some logic in here. We'll say if radio button 1.checked, and we'll show a message box. And we'll just say radio button 1 is checked. And what we'll do is we'll just duplicate this 2 times. So we've got 3 lots of those, and we'll just change the button we're looking at. So radio button 2 and radio button 3. You can probably tell by now that I like copy and pasting similar chunks of code and updating small variables in there. And then we'll just go up and we'll change this to a 2. Oh, we don't want a 4. This to a 3. Now if we go ahead and run our program, you'll see when I click the button, it knows that radio button 1 is checked. Now, if I check radio button 3, you see that radio button 3 is checked. And that is basically how radio buttons work. Exactly the same as a checkbox, except it allows you to bind a mutually exclusive state across 3 controls and then visually represent that to your user and give them control over that particular set of state. Hi, I hope you found that video useful. If you have any comments or feedback, then please leave me a comment below. I'm currently doing new videos every single day, so if you'd like to be notified about those, then hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.